Hey, what's going on? So we want to talk a little bit about kind of the bulk of leads and what happens to them. So let's say your close rate is 10%, 20%, 40%. What happens to the rest of those people that maybe got close to applying or were kind of thinking about it and then fell off? So we kind of wanted to explain some ways to maybe re-engage and make sure that whatever that percentage is doesn't go to waste just because they didn't enroll when everyone else did.
Yeah, and I think if I can talk,
Words
words are hard. No, but you paid to get those leads already. You
Right.
paid for them to come in, so it's going to be cheaper to work those. They've shown some interest than to find new ones, and kind of a lot of times our focus is finding the new ones, right?
who can enroll the quickest.
Yes,
But
yeah.
there's lots of untapped potential
Yeah.
in that percentage that's left over.
Yeah.
And I think one thing is kind of compiling somewhere whatever those, say, 80% that didn't enroll, compiling those somewhere, knowing where everyone was in the stage. So, let's say you've got a few different steps in your marketing funnel. Where did people fall off? What was the last thing how did you engage with them last? Were they enrolled for a little bit and fell off? Did they come in for a meeting and didn't enroll? Knowing all of that is really important.
Yeah, as much as you can get. So, yeah, did they fill out paperwork? Did they come in for a meeting? And because then you can take a combination of those things and make tailored messages, which is our next point, but which I'm kind of jumping ahead. But like in your CRM, if you don't have this already, I would suggest having like a second CRM or using we suggest like Active Campaign that's not really a CRM. They've got those capabilities, but they've got a really good tagging. Even if it's just a spreadsheet, that's the worst version, but
It's a version.
yeah, but something where you can tag users, and again, that is kept up to date. So as people enroll, fall off, you're constantly getting somebody to put that information into this database.
Yeah, and you made the point before we hopped on here. That way you can customize messages at scale.
Yes.
And that does kind of tie into the next
Yeah.
point. But being able to communicate with, whether it be a group of that list was someone who came in for a meeting but didn't enroll. Now you can communicate to that group of people. Say it's 1,000 people, but it's specifically tailored to kind of where they fell off. So it's much more personal than, hey, come back, we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It definitely speaks more to
We're
those
enrolling
people.
now.
Right, just
Yeah.
something generic.
Yeah, I think, and that's what we see a lot of those types of messages where it's just broadcast to everybody. So it's enrolling now, fall enrollments, whatever, or new career or new year, new you.
That's your favorite one?
I love that one. But if you're being specific, you can say, hey, Josh, I know you came in for a meeting and you fell off. What happened? How have your career goals changed? What can we do to help you? Or if they never come in, you'd say, hey, I know we were trying to get a meeting with you, but what's stopping you?
Yeah.
And even cooler is if you're plugging like programs in there and you've got these kinds of, or you got like specific people, you could say, you can have Gary or Marsha or whoever can send an email, again, at scale. So you're not like sending individual emails, but you segment those groups. And Marsha sends an email to all of the students that had applied for engineering or whatever, and that had come in for a meeting. And she says, hey, here's my personal phone number. Send me a message.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And I mean, the weight behind a message like that versus come enroll today is...
Yeah. So-and-so college, or no reply at so-and-so college.com.
Right.
It's a big picture that says, enrolling for the whatever semester, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I think kind of a step beyond that, and one that's even more effective than those kind of customized messages at scale, is when you're able to figure out who out of that huge list is highly qualified. So maybe they had expressed interest in coming in and there was a disconnect and the meeting just didn't happen, or whatever the situation may be. But finding those more qualified leads that were maybe close to converting, and using something a little more personal for them. And video is something we've seen be super effective here. And there's lots of tools and ways to do this, but even just taking 30 seconds, a minute to talk to someone, put a face behind the name that's reaching out to them is super cool. And we've got one platform we use called Bonjoro that's awesome. We've been using it for tons of stuff, and this is a really cool way to utilize a tool like that.
And you literally, like, you can have it queued up to go to the certain people. You put your phone in front of your face. Hopefully you're better looking than I am. And you just say, hey, John, saw that you signed up for the medical assistant. But so it's just like that personal thing. And it sends them an email with your picture. Yeah. And we see a lot of those get opened and turn into conversations.
Yeah. Well, everyone's big fear is when being reached out to through the internet in all its omniscience.
No.
Is that a word?
It is a word, but not the right one. Word.
Ominous.
Ominousness.
Ominicity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The big concern is, is this a real person? Am I just getting a spam message? And when it's a video, that erases all of those concerns.
Anonymity?
Cognizant.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, and people ideally, like, they want to deal with people. Yeah. And so it bridges that gap and gets a real conversation going versus a email exchange or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, those are a few ways.
Yeah.
Mix them in, and make use of that that percentage of people that came close but didn't quite get enrolled. There's so much potential there.
Yeah, you could probably at least get another 10% or whatever, and not spend as much as you would getting a whole nother 100 leads than 10 of those.
Right. There's always stuff left on the table if you're not kind of revisiting those people that you've engaged with. So,
all right,
awesome.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.